before we get into our club business, we'll officially start the meeting and we'll have Donovan do our invocation and pledge.
Thank you, everyone. Just don't all to have a moment of silence if everyone can bow their heads for a moment. I would like to say that give us eyes to behold you, a heart to know you, and a life to proclaim you. In the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. In conclusion, I'd like to go ahead and say remove your hats and place them over your hearts so we can say the pledge. Sorry. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic to which we stand,
one nation, under God,
nation under God, indivisible,
liberty,
and at the liberty of justice
for all.
Yeah. Thank you, and back to the active president. Olivia.
Sorry about that. Thank you. I'm sorry. I was trying to unmute and I was having some difficulties over here. Thank you very much for our invocation and pledge. And Ms. Crystal, I think you said you had some club business to discuss. Go ahead.
Yes, very briefly. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the guests. I'm so glad that they came. Hey, guys. I just wanted to mention that the area contest is on the 12th, and I still need a voting judge from Hilltoppers. According to the contest manual, there needs to be one voting judge for each club. That makes it fair, for all of the contestants. So of course we want Carrie to have a fair shot and have a judge representing your club. So I just wanted to mention that. I don't have one yet for Hilltoppers, and I just want to make sure that the contest is fair. So if you're not speaking as a contestant or serving as a counter or timer, please consider signing up to be the voting judge to represent Hilltoppers. That is all.
I will discuss it with the rest of the team afterwards, but if no one will sign up for it, then I will definitely take it to be judged. I will. But if anyone else does, we can talk about it offline in our group chat or what have you, and I'll let you know something by tomorrow. Anyone else has any club business? Anyone else? Hilltoppers, how you guys feeling? I'm sorry, Foley, how are you guys feeling tonight? Yay! I am loving these hats, loving them. And let's see. Oh, I can't wait to hear some of the stories behind our hats. So without any further ado, we're going to jump right on into our meeting. And tonight I am also serving as your Toastmaster. So I will be, Toastmaster. We're going to go over our roles in just a minute, but I just want to piggyback on what Crystal just said and welcome to all our guests. If you would just unmute yourself and at least just say hello and where you're from and who you are a guest of, and just whenever you guys get ready, you can speak all at once. No, I'm kidding. But if you would just unmute yourself for those that we have not seen before, I think it's maybe just one or two. If you would just tell us who you are a guest of, and we will give you an official welcome. Anybody that wants to go first? Diane, would you mind?
Hi, I'm Diane, and I'm here as a guest from Crystal's email about being a part of this Toastmaster, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to intern with the Purevine Foundation.
Very good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And welcome to Foley and Hilltoppers Toastmaster. Who else do we have? Let's see. Well, no, I'm just kidding. Tell us who you are. I'm kidding. I see Miss Stacy.
Yes, that's me. Crystal invited me. It's so great to be here. Thank you all for having me. I'm excited. I've never attended a Toastmasters meeting, so I'm excited to see how it goes.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming. And Miss Sharnika, I know you were on last week, but if you just want to say hello again, we'll take an official hello from you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sharnika Gildersleeve. I was invited by Crystal. This is my second Toastmasters, and I am so excited for tonight.
All right, all right. Thank you. At the end, we will try to, because we don't want to take up too much time in the meeting, but at the end, hopefully we'll all get a chance, if everything goes well, to officially introduce ourselves. But tonight I will have the liberty of calling on the team that has roles for tonight. And first I will start with giving my role. My name is Olivia Hasten Carter, and I am the president of Hilltopper Toastmasters in Mobile, Alabama. And tonight I will be our Toastmaster. And what that position entails is just the one that kind of keeps the meeting flowing. I will, at the beginning, there's 3 parts of our meeting. So we have our prepared speeches. Then we have our table topics portion where everyone can participate and tell a 1 to 2 minute answer to a question. And then at the end, we have our evaluation portion. First, before we start our prepared speeches, we always take a few seconds to confirm the roles and then have that person explain a little bit about their role tonight. So you guys will get an opportunity to have a little understanding of which each person is going to do. So let's start with our general evaluator. Carrie, can you tell us what your role will be tonight? Or can you explain to us what your role is? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and guests. By the way, my hat is panda.
Yes.
Panda.
We love it.
I like this. You see? Anyway, my role tonight is to general evaluator. It's to evaluate entire meeting, and then I'll see you in the last portion of this meeting, which is evaluation portion.
Thank you very much. And next we have our grammarian and all counter, which is going to be Miss Crystal. If you would, please.
Good evening, everyone. I will be the grammarian all counter for the evening. My role is to make sure you all use proper grammar, avoid those filler words, which are the ahs, the ohs, the ums, my notorious so's. I love the so's. Therefore, I am going to try my very best to listen actively for those things and to make sure that you all use the word of the day. The word of the day is impressed. It is an adjective, feeling or showing admiration or respect for someone or something. And it also has another definition here, applied to something using pressure. We'll probably use the feeling or showing admiration or respect for someone or something. But that will be our word for the day. Try to use it. I'll also try to change my background if I can real quick so that you can see the word of the day throughout the duration of the meeting. Good luck, everybody.
All right, thank you very much, Crystal. And let's move on to Wes. He is our timer for this evening. Wes, would you explain to us your role, please? Oops, you're on mute.
Yes, ma'am, Toastmaster. My role is timer. I time the prepared speeches, the table topics, and also the evaluations portion of the meeting. For a 5 to 7 minute speech, my green sheet will come on at 5 minutes. The yellow sheet will come on at 6 minutes, and you'll see the red sheet at 7 minutes.
All right.
And well, also for the table topics, well, Normally for a club contest, the speech must be from at least 4 minutes, 30 seconds to 7 minutes, 30 seconds. For table topics, the green light will come on at 1 minute and will remain for 30 seconds. The yellow light will come on in 1 minute, 30 seconds and remain displayed for 30 seconds. And the red light will come on at 2 minutes. For evaluations, the green light is at 2 minutes, yellow light at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, red light at 3 minutes, and remain displayed until the evaluation is concluded. Madam Toastmaster.
Toastmasters. All right, thank you very much for that, Wes. I think, let's see, we need to go over our speech evaluator, and that is Miss Candace. Candace, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
Hello, good evening, and thank you for taking that position of speech evaluator. And tonight you're going to be evaluating Buck's speech. Is that correct? Did you confirm that you're going to be able to do the evaluation for Buck?
Yes, ma'am. Last week.
Thank you. If you would tell us a little bit about that role as a speech evaluator.
My role as the speech evaluator is to listen actively and draw out the high points and kindly point out areas that need a little love as he presents his speech. So that is my role. And I must say that I love the panda hat.
I do too. I sure do. We'll get a few seconds during our table topics to have anyone that wants to just give us a 1 to 2 minute response or to talk about their hat. Remember, our theme tonight is Toastmasters wear many hats. So hopefully we'll be able to answer that question during our table topics portion of the meeting. And with that being said, I just realized that I think Kyler was supposed to be our table topics master, and he's not here. So David, I was wondering, would you mind taking that position? And the question is going to be for all of those that want to answer. Tell us about your hat.
Sure, I can do that.
Okay, thank you very much. Forgot to fill in that role. Okay, I think we have gone over all of our roles for this evening. So we will go directly into our prepared speech, and that is going to be by Buck. And the name of his speech is The Quackers. Am I saying that correctly? All right, thank you. All righty, Buck, I will let you take the virtual lectern.
In my defense, I really didn't think I was being that clever. It all started with one of my teammates and I going to see my boss, and he stopped and picked up a piece of trash. And as we walked by the secretary, he reached out his hand, and she reached out her hand. He dropped the piece of trash in her hand, and she says, "What's this?" He says, "It's a present." Well, she says, "Thank you." And she looked at me and said, "Where's my present?" And I said, "I don't have one, but I can have you a present tomorrow." She says, "I expect my present tomorrow." I had a yellow Easter egg on my desk. So the next day I brought her a yellow Easter egg and put it on her desk, and she said, "Thank you." That day I went out to lunch and I went to the dollar store. The dollar store is a great place. They had 4 rubber ducks for $1. It was worth $1 investment. The next day, I went by her desk and she got a duck, but she wasn't there. I opened up the plastic Easter egg and put the duck in its place like it hatched. I didn't think I was being that clever, but she wasn't there. So I left. Came back later that day and she goes, "Do you know anything about this duck on my desk?" And I said, "What duck?" And she goes, "It wasn't you." Wow. I actually did something and I'm not getting blamed for what I really did. There's more ducks. The next day she got another duck. 3, in fact, over the next 3 days. Now she had a little duck family. There was a big duck and little ducks. And I would walk by her desk during the day and she would say, "Is it you?" I said, "I'll take credit for it." She says, "It wasn't you." Okay. Well, you know, the ducks were 4 for $1. So it was no inconvenience because it was on the way home. There was a mama duck and 3 little ducks. Well, they needed a daddy duck and 3 more ducks. They came over the next week. Every time I would see her, she said, "Was it you?" I said, "I'll take credit for it." "It wasn't you." Okay. Did I mention they were 4 for $1? And the dollar store was on the way home anyway. The ducks, they kind of asked for some friends to come over. There were friends that came over and visited and stayed. Like maybe another 12 or so ducks. They'd come and there'd be in little lines walking behind her desk or in scenes on her desk or on the floor around her chair, circling her chair. It was really quite impressive. Their togetherness, their cooperation, their theatrical flair. It was very, very inspiring. The whole duck family was there. They enjoyed each other's company. They did events together. And pretty soon, there was a whole host of ducks. I came through the office one day and the secretary has the out of office calendar and she's got days marked of when ducks came and who was on vacation that day, trying to figure out who's putting these ducks. It was like a scene from The Great Escape where they're trying to escape Alcatraz or something. And they're trying to plot out who's putting these ducks. Did I mention they were 4 for $1? It was really cheap. It was no inconvenience stopping by on the way home. And after about $5 and 20 ducks later, I will have to admit, 20 ducks on a desk does get to be kind of much. My boss came to me and said, "It's been funny, but get the camera out, get the hidden camera and set it up. We need to know who's coming in the office." And I looked at my boss and said, "You know what? I'll just stop doing it." And my boss says, "It was you? This whole time it's been you?" I said, "Yeah, it's been me." "But it's been you this whole time? It's been you?" I said, "Yeah, it was me." She said, you can't just stop. You've got to end it." "Don't worry. I got it covered." We did work at a college, you know, and it was May. So we had a graduation. There was a couple ducks in the front graduating. There's a duck professor doing the graduation, and all the ducks had families out in the audience. I mean, there's a lot of ducks it was a big family. We even had a fire marshal to make sure all the little duckies were safe. We played music and pomp and circumstance and had all sorts of fun interactions. It's amazing what $5, a little humor, a little fun, and a lot of ducks can do for the morale of an office and bring fun into an office. And the whole time, it's just because they crack me up. I'd like to say a special thanks to James Veach. He is my inspiration. And if you get a chance, check out James Veach as a terrible roommate. He inspired me to go on to do great things. Thank you very much.
Beautiful, beautiful. I really enjoyed that speech. And I like little, I guess you could say quirky things. So you inspired me to do something quirky for someone at my job. So we'll see how it turns out. They better have a good sense of humor like you did. Once I did, we have a meeting every morning where all of us come from all of our offices and different buildings, and we meet in this huddle, and it starts at 7:30. So me being the silly one, I told all the team, I said, hey, listen, let's go upstairs to the 3rd floor where the balcony is, and let's look down at our boss at 7:30, and we're gonna all be up here, and she's gonna be the only one down there. And we're gonna just come right back down, and we'll be back downstairs by 7:33. It was April Fool's. Before we could even get an opportunity to yell over the balcony, hey, April Fool's Day, we're here, she stormed off angrily. Needless to say, that joke did not go well. And I was like, oh my goodness, lighten up. Where's your sense of humor? So anyway, but I'm gonna try that. Maybe not with the ducks, but I'll think of something and see. Hopefully it'll go over better than the April Fool's joke. Thank you very much. And we don't have any more prepared speeches. So we are gonna move into our favorite, our second favorite time of the evening, which everyone has the opportunity to participate, and that is our table topics portion. Tonight, our table topics master will be Mr. David Roberts. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Olivia, and welcome everyone to tonight's table topics. And normally I would pick a question and ask for volunteers to answer, and gives us an opportunity to work on our just off the cuff, having to give an impromptu speech. But tonight we're all wearing hats, or most of us are, and the theme tonight is hats. And so the question for everyone will be, would you like to tell us about your hat and what it represents? And as I think Wes had mentioned in an email, we could this could also be a tall tales. So it doesn't have to be the complete honest truth. As a matter of fact, it could be an outright lie. That's all perfectly fine. This is just a chance to work on our skills. And so we will start. I'll start by asking if anyone has a burning desire to go first as a volunteer. I see Wes has his hand raised. So Wes, it's all yours. So what does your hat represent?
Well, the thing is, I need a timer before I begin, because I'm the timer, but I'll need somebody to time me.
I can time you.
Mr. Topics Master, as many of you know, I worked for the Naval Oceanographic Office. I retired from that several years ago. One of my jobs involved going to sea and helping with surveys for the Navy aboard survey vessels. We were in port in Alexandria, Egypt. We had some free time, so we went to Cairo to see the Great Pyramids of Giza. Now, when we got to Giza, we were very impressed because those pyramids are huge. They are huge. They're created out of stone. There was a Sphinx there and the 3 pyramids. And I went on a tour of the Great Pyramid, and I had a tour guide named Ashraf. And Ashraf took me all the way to the top of the inside to the top portion of the pyramid. And he says, well, we can go down also. So we went all the way down. It was very interesting. You know, these long tunnels that are built, they're lighted. That's fine. We can see what we're doing. But he said, one of your colleagues has asked me to take him on a tour of the Sphinx. So I have to leave early because we did 2 tours. I said, that's fine. So he left early, and the tunnels are lighted. I had a flashlight as a backup. So I'm making my way to the entrance. But what happened, we had a power glitch and all the lights went off. So I'm just stuck with a flashlight. I dropped the flashlight and broke it. So here I've been in the Great Pyramid in total darkness. So I thought, well, somebody ultimately will come and find me. So I'm groping along, trying to right in the direction where I think the entrance is, and I feel this tap on my shoulder. So I turn and I go in that direction. I'm like, Asher, I must come back. That's great. So I'm going and I see this light at the entrance. I make my way to the tunnel. I want to thank Ashraf. And Ashraf is nowhere to be seen. I was told that 20 minutes ago he lived with Steve, a buddy of mine, to go to the pyramids. The question is, if Ashraf tapped me on the shoulder, was it my imagination, or who tapped me on the shoulder? This Topics Master.
Thank you, Wes. That's very interesting. I really kind of don't know if that was made up or actually the truth. It sounded very convincing, and I would like to hear more on the story at a later date, perhaps. So that sounds great. We have, let me get back to our gallery view so I can see everyone. Do we have another volunteer that would like to go? Or I can call on someone. Would one of our visitors like to speak? How about Stacy? Would you like to say something this evening? You could either talk about your hat or just introduce yourself for 1 to 2 minutes if you'd like to. If not, it's okay.
Absolutely. I would definitely be happy to speak. My name is Stacy Puckett. I was invited by Crystal. So my hat is, it's sentimental to me. So I had an amazing little brother. He actually passed away 4 years ago this week. On Thursday will be his angelversary of him passing away. But he has a black lab, his very best buddy. His name is Buddy Rowe. And Buddy Rowe went to college with him and went to every class, went to the coffee shop, went to any activity my little brother was involved with. Buddy Rowe tagged along with him. And everyone knew if they saw Buddy Rowe, my little brother was close behind and vice versa. So Buddy Rowe was just the mascot of the town, Starkville, which is where we went to college, Mississippi State. And this hat is the kennel. I don't know if you can see it. It's Rose Kennels, the kennel where Buddy Rowe was purchased. So this hat's really sentimental to me because not only is it a representation of my little brother, but it's a representation of the bond he had with his best friend, his black lab, Buddy Rowe.
Thank you, Stacy. That was a beautiful story, and I thought you did very well. And we really appreciate you being here with us this evening as a visitor. And okay, do we have a third participant for table topics? I can call on someone else again. Let's see. Would you like to, how about another visitor? Would you like to go, Diane, or who else was here? Or go ahead.
Hi. This is like my second favorite hat, but I finally found like the hat is like a cross. It's probably like my favorite hat. I went to Disneyland. I didn't know if I wanted to wear it, but I finally found it. But it just has like little cute ears. I just thought it really cute, but it was a little bit overpriced. But I just found it was really cute at the time. And I have like the the Mickey Mouse ears, so like the glittery ones. I can't find that one, but yeah, those are my favorite little hats.
Very good. Thank you, Diane. Thank you for being here with us this evening as well. We love having visitors, and we encourage people to come back and see us again as well. So we are on to our fourth participant for this evening. And how about Maurice with that hard hat there? Would you have something to say?
Yeah, yes, I have a little say about this hard hat. Fellow Toastmasters and honored guest, with tonight being the hat theme, I have a hard hat on, and it represents safety and protection for your head on construction sites, or you're doing some type of hazardous work. It was always said that a hard head makes for a soft bottom. But if I'm hard-headed, why am I wearing a hard hat? But actually, and I'll tell you a true story about me, hard hat. I tend to be more reckless when I wear a hard hat. I find myself being more reckless when I wear a hard hat on construction sites or whatever. Even though I do bump my head sometimes without it, for some reason, a lot of the time I would get a little more reckless and bump my head against things that would probably cut my head or pierce my head but I am impressed with this hard hat, with the protection that it provides. Mr. Topics Master.
Thank you, Maurice. And at one point early in my career, I was wearing a hard hat every day. I worked as an inspector on bridge projects, so I can relate and definitely agree that they have saved lives and certainly saved some serious headaches. And moving on, do we have another volunteer? How about Reed? I haven't heard from you yet this evening. Would you like to tell us about, it looks like you're duck hunting or something over there.
I'll zoom in a little bit because there is a little extra story to it. So I worked for Hewlett Packard for 4 years, several years ago, and they provided a vehicle. They paid for my personal gas and my business gas, and I thought I was in heaven. And then I got laid off. Then I went to work for a buddy in Denver for a business, and he provided a vehicle. And I thought, boy, I am just lucky. So I had never had to purchase a vehicle in about 12 years. And so I had rules that I said I would never do. One is, after reading this investment book, never ever buy a brand new vehicle, because as soon as you drive it off the lot, you just lost 30% of the value. That always stuck with me. So they said, always buy something that's 2 to 2.5 years old. The other thing I said I would never do is buy a black vehicle, because I'm from Texas and it gets hot. So when you got that black vehicle, and especially if it's black interior, you start to get in, you better have that AC going. So this last week, I've been in the market for a truck, and buying a used vehicle was going to cost me $140 a month extra because of the interest rate. So I drove off with a black Dodge Ram this last week with black interior, and it's brand spanking new. I still hadn't figured out all the buttons, but they gave me this hat on the way out. So this is probably the most expensive hat I've ever purchased in my life. So with that, but I'm excited. I am trying not to drive it every day, everywhere, just to save on the miles and the gas prices that are out there today. But it fits what I do, and I'm excited. I'm taking a trip back to Texas next week, driving my brand spanking new Dodge Ram truck. So, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Reed. That's very interesting. I actually own a white car for that very reason, because in the South, I just cannot stand the hot summers. And I heard, well, lighter colors are a little bit, but I think most of the heat comes through the windshield anyway, so I don't think it matters that much. But and car prices are all upside down and crazy now with the shortages and things. So you might get a better deal on a new vehicle. Who knows? Very good. Do we have another? I think we maybe can get one more in here. Do we have a volunteer would like to go? How about Miss Olivia?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. And the question I'm going to answer is, what does my hat mean to me? Some of you have already heard this story, and for those of you who have not, I will briefly tell you that when I was 6 years old, if you would have asked me what did I want to be when I grew up, I wanted to be a cowgirl. Just the thought of riding on those horses as they gallop up and down the meadows and into the woods. I just have always been intrigued by horses. My first love for animals is the albino Bengal tiger. But since that animal probably doesn't love me as much as I love it, I tend to go towards the more dorsal animals. And that puts the horse as my second love. It's just something about horses that are so peaceful and so calm and quieting. And it's almost like as if I can hear what they're saying. So when I was 6 years old, my mom took me to one of our friends' house where they owned horses. And I wanted a white horse named Lightning. I got to the horse and the horse was no longer, it wasn't as white as I pictured it to be. And then my mom's friend said, okay, now we're going to clean it. And I was like, clean it? You mean I have to scrub it back white? Well, ever since then, I changed my mind on a white horse. I still do love horses, and I would love to have a horse named Lightning, but maybe not white. Let's go for a jet black one. But my hat represents the cowgirl that's in me. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Olivia. That's wonderful. And I love the colorful, the pink color and the way you wear it. It has that cowgirl look to it. And there's a lot of things in my life that I'd still like to do that I haven't, and it's crazy, but I've never ridden a horse. So that's something when you talked about being a cowgirl and horse riding, I thought, I need to get out and do some more things. So maybe I'll ride a horse soon. I think we're at 7. Yeah, absolutely. We're at 7:26, so I think we're about out of time on table topics. So thank everyone for participating. I have been very impressed with all of your answers and love hearing from everyone. So now I will turn the meeting back to to Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone, for your participation in our table topics portion. And thank you, David, for being our table topics master. Mr. Reed, I am so, every time you speak, I get tickled because I just never know what you're going to say. And I was like, yes, finally someone that agrees with me. Sometimes it's just not worth buying a car brand new. Once you get it off the lot, you're right. I didn't really think 30%, but I knew it lost quite a bit of value the moment that odometer read 1 mile. But you did what? You went and bought what?
I don't always know what I'm going to say either, so we share that in common.
I'm still curious as to what was that you said that you would do for, was it $1 million or I can't, I'm still curious.
We'll talk.
Yes, we must. Okay, we're moving on to our next portion of the meeting, and that is when we get the opportunity to be evaluated, to go over our roles this evening or those that were responsible for a role, and then they'll give us their feedback, or shall I say their evaluation. So I'm going to turn the meeting over to our general evaluator, Carrie. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now we move on to the evaluation portion, which is the last portion of this meeting. I will make an overall evaluation later for this impressed meeting tonight. Let's start with each rose. Timer, Mr. West.
Wes, unmute your mic, Wes.
Mr. West.
I try to be very courteous on muting my mic, but then again, I have to unmute it when I speak. So I'll see what I can do about being more prompt on unmuting. We had 6 respondents for timing. Buck's timing, the timing for Buck's presentation was 6 minutes and 54 seconds. Stacy was 1 minute and 8 seconds. Diane, 25 seconds. Maurice, 1 minute and 27 seconds. Reed, 1 minute 49 seconds. And Olivia, 1 minute and 48 seconds. And that concludes my report, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Wes. Next, please make a report of grammar and counter, Ms. Crystal.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Overall, we didn't have a lot of grammatical errors. I did hear a and a from you, Wes. Buck, I did not hear anything from your speech. Stacy, I didn't hear anything when you gave your table topics. Maurice, neither, or Diane, nor Olivia. David used the word of the day. Good job, David. Carrie used the word of the day. Good job, Carrie. Now we do have Candace to give the evaluation, so I do want to watch out for her. So hopefully,
Yes, I forgot. I'm sorry.
no worries. So hopefully Candace will use it. If she does,
Yeah,
I'll send it in the
I
chat.
just remember. I apologize.
No worries. But back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Well, I made a note, and because I put her name as the very top of it, and then the clip behind the clip. Well, that's my mistake. Anyway, I'm sorry. We should have started with the evaluation of long speech. Okay, one more time. Okay, Miss Candace, please make evaluation for long speech. But
Well, I was very impressed with the speech. I thought he did a fabulous job. And he drew me in, and I kept, because we are coming into the Valentine's season, I kept thinking that there was going to be some kind of romantic twist to it instead of more of a April Fool's type twist. But I enjoyed it very well. Like I said, I was very impressed. And I thought he used his grammar well. His time was well spent, and it did draw me in. And I kept waiting. Like I said, I kept waiting for that romantic twist. Like, you know, after it was all said and done, he asked this person out, and they lived happily ever after. But I was also intrigued by how he started using the different ducks to do different things, and then he had the graphics to go with it. That was very impressive too. So I thoroughly enjoyed his story. Thank you. Now I'll turn it back over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
thank you, Candace. Appreciate it. And I one more time apologize. And then thank you, Candace, again. And I like you really using your hand gesture and this really three-dimensional evaluation speech. Appreciate it. Timer West, Mr. West, would you mind to give the report about her speech again? I mean, speech, please do it again.
Yes, my general evaluator. Crystal spoke for 34 seconds in her presentation, and Candace spoke for 1 minute and 17 seconds.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And Crystal, could you make a report?
I'm saying, do you want to see if he's available?
Olivia, you're
Sorry.
yes, no worries. So Candace used I did it. Candace used the word of the day twice during her evaluation. So great job, Candace. And for our guests, I just wanted to throw out there, the purpose of Buck's speech was to inflict humor. There's always a purpose behind the speech project. So his project was know your sense of humor. The purpose of this project is to begin developing a collection of humorous stories and present a speech that includes humor. So that is why Buck's speech was inflicted with humor, but also you can use it as a tall tales, Buck, if you include that romantic twist that Karen Candace had just mentioned. So something to keep in mind. But overall, great use of the word of the day, club. Very proud of you all. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Crystal. And then I did timer, grammar, counter. So it's my turn to make overall evaluation. And I like to share the 3 things. First, we have 15 participants, including guests tonight. Yes, 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 which is wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. And second, we had a prepared speech, which is good because sometimes we didn't have it. So I really appreciate, but you have a well-prepared speech, not just a prepared speech, well-prepared speech. I enjoyed all the yellow text, and then that was really cute. And then third, we had theme for this meeting, which is having hat. And I really like it because having something in common, we all feel connected, including, especially we have 3 guests. Are they very new or maybe have maybe once or twice before? But for me, the new faces, so I really feel already connected. So it is this very good idea. Also, it's the reason I think it's a good idea is using the hat. And I mean, this theme, we use this theme, having hat, for table topic. So you feel like back to the elementary school days and show and tell the thing. So not just the tell, not just the saying, but show it too. I really enjoy. That's a really great entertainment for me. And then the entire meeting went on schedule a little bit soon, 7:36, which is not bad. That was great. And we have another impressive meeting tonight. Thank you. And back to Toastmaster Olivia.
Well, thank you very much there, Carrie. I sure wish you'd take a few minutes and tell us a little bit about that hat you have on. Will you? Yes.
That's a good idea. Let's do that.
Yes, I was asking, would you tell us, take a few seconds and tell us about that panda hat that you have on?
Just a quick things, and I found this in Walmart. I really love it. So I went back to Japan. I bought it probably 10 years ago or something. And then I brought this to Japan and showed my nephew. He was still first grade, second grade, something like that back then. And he really wanted it. I knew that, but I said no to them. And then my mother really gave me pressure to give to him, but I said no. And I feel like I'm right to say no because I love it. No, I'm not gonna give anybody.
Right, very good, very good. I do like that hat. Too cute. I like all of your hats. So let's see, for our meeting, I think we had an awesome meeting tonight. Thank you all very much for coming out. And Carrie, I must agree, it is really cool to have a theme. It just gives us something to look forward to and something to think about as we prepare for Toastmasters. Again, we never want Toastmasters to feel like a chore. It is an honor to serve others, as Crystal had told us before. So coming to Toastmasters, it really not only teaches us to be better speakers, but it also teaches us those leadership skills, or helps us to enhance our leadership skills, our communication skills, which is important with any relationship. And I'm just so glad to be a part of this team. And when we have a theme, something that all of us can actively participate in, as in this case, our lovely hats, it really just makes Toastmasters seem less of a chore or a requirement and more of an excitement, something that you look forward to doing. So hopefully we will have more themes in the next coming weeks, and we will have more guests and more people signing up wanting to be members. We do have a few minutes, so unless someone has, I don't think we have any awards, correct? No awards tonight? We do have an award, Maurice? No awards. Okay, well, for
Liv,
us
you got
that
the
are
best.
already Toastmasters.
You got the best award for the pink hat.
Oh, well, thank you. Can I put it on properly? That might help. Okay, there we go. If we would, for us Toastmasters, since we have about 5-6 more minutes, if we could please just introduce yourself real quickly, maybe 10 seconds, and just tell our guests what your role is, your name, what's your club status or your position, if you are an officer, and how long you have been with Toastmasters. So I'll start myself. My name is Olivia Hasten Carter. I have been a member of Toastmasters since 2018. Public speaking is truly one of my largest passions. So I came to Toastmasters to enhance that skill, but along the way, I've learned so much more. I am the president for this year, and my position ends in June. And what the president does is just helps to bring along everyone else. Really, I could not do this position without some awesome people that I have working with me and working alongside of, we all working together. And with that, I would like to introduce you to Maurice, who has been very instrumental with me from the very beginning. He has been with Toastmasters for many years. So Maurice, if you would, take a few seconds and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, as she said, my name is Maurice Heidelberg. I've been a Toastmaster since 2015, and I am the Vice President of Education. And among those tasks that a Vice President of Education does is to keep up with the pathways, each person's path as they perform speech projects, and be sure to, when they complete the path or complete a level, be sure to approve it and give them their certificate.
All right.
And also, I kind of also work as Vice President of Membership, just to keep track of new members who join and help sign them up. So those are the two positions that I do in the Toastmasters Club.
Thank you very much, Maurice. Miss Crystal, would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you, Madam President. My name is Crystal Lockett Wilson. I have been in Toastmasters since 2012. It would have been sooner than that, but I kept stating I didn't want to come because I was afraid for years. I first learned about Toastmasters in 2006 and then didn't attend my first meeting until 2012. I say that to say I hope you all that are new will jump right in. I definitely was afraid initially to give my first speech. Your first speech is always about yourself, but I have learned that Toastmasters helps you with not just public speaking, but with leadership in general. There's those so you pay more attention to when you use it. You also will learn in Toastmasters how to moderate a panel, build a podcast, learn your leadership style, communication style, and know how to manage different people. My role in Toastmasters is the area director, which is overseeing 6 clubs in this Gulf Coast area. It's definitely an honor to serve. I love recruiting, as you can see. Served as club coach with Maurice last year, and we helped build a club from 4 active members to 16, I believe, is what they have right now. So we can do it if we work together, and I hope you all enjoy Toastmasters as much as we do. Back to you. I'll pass it on to our president of the Foley Club, Reed Rogers.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Crystal. Well, let's see here. I joined Toastmasters in June of 1997. This is going on my 25th year, and never thought that that would happen. I originally was going to a club. I heard about Toastmasters, but was too afraid to go to it because I was afraid there would be about 200 people in the room and they would take turns telling me how bad I was. But went to a meeting, and I was telling this story, I think not too long ago, or maybe last week too, but for the guest, I got into the club, and it just so happened that when I looked it up, it was on the 4th floor of the building I was in, and I worked on the 2nd floor. So I went to the meeting, I saw the format, which was much like the one tonight, and I wrote a check out, signed it, dated it, and I said, how much is it? I want to join. And the guy said, well, let me just ask you a question. Where do you work? And I said, that's the beauty of it. I work here on the 2nd floor. So I'm sorry, you can't join our club. And he said, it was a closed club. And I said, well, how come? He said, it's our director pays for it. It was a closed just for the employees on that particular floor. But there was another one that met every Monday on that same building. So I went to that meeting, same format, and I joined, and I've been a member ever since. I'm originally from the Dallas area. I will tell you, I have a long background that got me into professional speaking. And one of those is, I have a phrase I learned that the one with the marker makes the most money. If you want to double or triple your income, get that dry erase marker, start drawing and doing presentations, because when you're speaking to an audience, you are automatically perceived as a leader and people will go to it. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you get, the more enjoyment you will get. I know I feed off the energy of my audiences, and so I have a lot of fun, but that comfort level just gets to be great. So I've learned more about leadership in Toastmasters than probably the speaking, but the speaking is quite enjoyable and very rewarding. But if you look at a Toastmasters Club, we have a president, we have vice presidents, a secretary, a treasurer, much like a corporation is. And so that same structure I've taken into my business and utilize it from what I learned from Toastmasters. So I hope you will get that same thing that I did, and I'm sure you will, if you go ahead and jump in and just relish in the what you can learn from it. So back to you, Madam Toastmaster, Olivia.
Thank you very much. And we are over our time, but if anyone else would like to quickly introduce themselves, I know I can. Let's see. Carrie is our treasurer for the Hilltopper, and she's been a member of Toastmasters since 2019, maybe, Carrie, am I right? And then we have David. He has been David Roberts. He's been a member of Toastmasters since around 2019. He's also at Hilltopper. And David, you've had positions in the past, but you're not sitting as an officer this year, correct?
Right. Last year, I was vice president of education. So correct. And happy to be here. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. And then we have Donovan, who is also a member of Hilltopper Toastmasters. And Donovan is our secretary for this year. And Donovan, how many years have you been with Toastmaster?
So it was basically the time I started college, which was in probably the second year of 2018.
All right, thank you very much. And then Mr. Buck, he is a member of Foley Foley Toastmasters. Can you tell us how long you've been with Toastmasters, and if you have a role or a former role you may have had?
2017, and I've been PR, president, treasurer, something else, I think, all because I can't say no. And my goal is to learn how to say no.
All right, thank you very much. Did I miss anybody before I get to Mr. West? Mr. West, we always save the best for last.
Candace from Foley.
Thank you. I've been trying to chat you, Crystal, for I don't know how long.
Oh,
thank you about that. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so Miss Candace, you are a member of Foley. I could not remember if you were a member or a guest. And I kept saying, Crystal, is she a member or a guest?
I don't see a message.
I was saying like 4 times, like, help me out.
I didn't get it.
Oh man. Okay. Well, Miss Candace, my apologies for overlooking you. Could you please tell us how long you've been a member of Toastmaster and any roles you may have had or currently are serving?
Member 2019, secretary/treasurer.
All right. Thank you very much. I think we've covered everyone. You know what, Crystal? I think because I'm sending it to your other, you have two names up tonight. And I'm sending it to the one that you're not using as your video.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I'm sorry.
No wonder. Okay, no problem. All right, Mr. West is our club coach for this year, and an awesome coach he is. Mr. West, would you give us a few seconds of yourself, because we're already 4 minutes over our time tonight, and we'll let you close on out.
It'll be brief. It's just Toastmasters is a wonderful organization. We have a wonderful club here. It's very dynamic. We learn communication, leadership skills, and we also have fun. People who have fun together stay together. We're looking into ways to, again, not to develop ways to develop communication and leadership skills, but to enjoy each other's company. I will not, unfortunately, I will not be able to attend the meeting next week because I'll be hosting a coach training session next Monday. But I'll be looking forward to seeing you all again in 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you very much, Wes. Crystal would like for us to hold still for just 1 minute while we take Miss Dana Lewis. I am so sorry. You are a guest tonight.
Yes, I am.
Hello and welcome. Welcome
Hi.
to Toastmaster, Hilltopper, and Foley Style. How are you tonight? If you
I'm
don't
doing
mind, if you would just take a few seconds to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Dana Lewis. I'm actually from Mobile, but I live in Montgomery. I went to college, Auburn, with Crystal, and she invited me to come and be a part. She's been trying to get me to be a part of Toastmasters for a while, and I think I'm ready. Like she said, like you know about something, but you're just nervous about joining. So just looking forward to coming and being a part. So thanks for having me.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so to our guests, if anybody would like to, I know we're kind of running over, so pardon me for extending the meeting a little bit longer, but if any one of our guests would like to tell us a little bit of feedback, we would love to hear what you think of Hilltopper, Foley Style Toastmasters. Don't you all speak at once.
I can go. I really enjoyed the meeting. I have heard about Toastmasters, but I'd never really participated or had any idea what to think. But it definitely exceeded my expectations, and I was very impressed with the meeting. And I enjoyed getting to know more about everyone that's involved in this group.
Thank you very much. As you can see, we are a big, diverse group. We all have different backgrounds. One day you'll stick around and you'll be able to hear some of our icebreakers. We all have pretty interesting stories. So hopefully we'll see you again. Miss Diane, anything you want to give us? Any closing words before we close out for tonight?
This was my first Toastmasters, and I found it really interesting, and I love the creative stories. I was confused about the rubber duck in the beginning. I was confused at what Toastmasters really was at first, but then I thought it was really fun.
Yes, we like to be humorous and light. Sometimes just, bring some smiles, some joy to the meeting. I think, Miss Crystal, we would just be remiss if we didn't allow you to give us a few last words, since you have brought in all these lovely new family members, and we figured you want to give them all one big virtual hug on our way out. So if you would take the floor.
Yes, I just wanted a group picture real quick. I know we're over time, but just to clarify with Diane, every speech is different. I can give a speech as a healthcare provider about nursing, about high blood pressure. The whole speech for 5-7 minutes can be about high blood pressure medicine, hypertension medicines, I would say. It just depends on what the purpose of the speech is. So that's what Toastmasters is. It allows you to incorporate whatever you're doing outside of Toastmasters into this meeting so you can practice. Since you will be our public health, public relations intern for our foundation, you can give your presentations about some of the topics that we will be promoting in the community. So that's for anybody. Use Toastmasters to your advantage in your profession, as well as whatever you're doing to give back to the community. You will see that it helps you be well-rounded in everything. So with that, I don't want to take too much of you all's time. I'm glad you all came. If you would, on the count of 3, say cheese. If you need to put your lip gloss on real quick, go ahead real quick. Or if you don't want to be in the picture, turn your video off. I'm going to take a screenshot so I can post it on Facebook. And 1, 2, 3, cheese. I got it. I hope that is all. Back to you, Madam President.
All right. Thank you very much. I think we have covered it all. Oops. Can you guys hear me? Okay, since I'm unstable on my end. All right, guys, we are going to close this meeting out. If everyone we don't have anything else to cover, we're going to close out. Thank you again to everyone, and we hope to see you again next Monday, 6:45 p.m. Thank you very much, and have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.